Airlines, book a car instantly with Avail. Just grab the key and...
Like, how was you feeling, bro? Feeling like before, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? It's fantastic, cause I'm money like a less. I'm very church, I call you smoking oregano. I'm smoking on Nick Cat. I'm a big, you know, when I'm with my dick, cause she said you bigger than Memphis. How was you feeling, bro? Feeling like before, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? It's fantastic, cause I'm money like a less. I'm very church, I call you smoking oregano. I'm smoking on Nick Cat. I'm a big, you know, when I'm with my dick, cause she said you bigger than Memphis. Water that was like that. Mama, something that. The pussy hungry as hell, so my dick is what I use in them that. I'm getting offensive and that's what we feel. These niggas like my overlap. Never mind that I might die. Should I consider like that? I was like, yo, little baby, man. Like, little baby, like, that shit's way too fun. Like, who has that? I fuck a bitch in the dot. My diamond shot in the dark. Then I feel like a fart. I'ma go drill like a court. You police don't call you Paul. Lord, I bet you never get off my dot. Formerly rock on my block. Okay, close the phone. That distance, I see you as it issue. I know that you hard as tissue. See you people like tissue. No bitch seeking me like missile. He says so I might kill you. You know that I tell them fiddles. Better I right like a fiddle. Okay, like how was you feeling, bro? Feeling like before, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? This fantastic, cause I'm like the less. I'm never trying to go and smoking oregano. I'm smoking on Nick Cat. I'm a big, you know, when I'm with my nigga. She said you big little man. This, it's on the head like no catch scratch. And I'm in the field like baseball bat. And I'm fresh off the leg like the whole team cat. You don't fall, tell like a big step back, cool cat. Like straight in the season with that. Crazy, you know, walking on the holiday, but not the damn money boomerang cat. I was because I sip. Bring on my mouth to the fist. I put that shit on my hip. I see y'all bitch as a tip. I don't hear that get lit. That's all what did I trip. This is what I like. How was you feeling, bro? Feeling like before, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? This fantastic, cause I'm money like a less. I'm very church, I told you smoking oregano. I'm smoking on the cat. I'm a big, you know, when I'm with my dick, cause she said you big little man. How was you feeling, bro? Feeling like before, I feel fantastic. Which one would you be, though? This fantastic, cause I'm money like a less. I'm very church, I told you smoking oregano. I'm smoking on the cat.
When you think of an image, you kind of dream it up first. There is no difference in how I approach making an assignment like a Vogue cover or a personal shoot.
Dead wrong. The weak and the strong. Got it going on. Dead wrong. Relax and take notes while I take totes of the marijuana smoke. Throw you in a choke. Gun smoke, gun smoke. Biggie Smalls the mayor, the rap slayer, the hooker layer. Motherfucker, say your prayers. Hail Mary, full of grace. Smack the bitch in the face. Take her Gucci bag and her North Face off her back. Jab her if she act funny with the money. Oh, you got me mistaken, honey. I don't wanna rape ya. I just want the paper, the visa, capisha. I'm out like the vapors. Who's the one you call Mr. Macho? The head honcho, swift fist like Kumacho. I got so much style I should be down with the stylistics. Make up to break up. Niggas need to wake up. Smell the Indonesia, beat you to a seizure. Then fuck your arms, hit the skins to amnesia. She don't remember shit, just the 2 hits.
Drive, look alive, look alive. Niggas came up on this side, now they on us on the side. Oh well, fuck them dog, we gon' see how hard they ride. I get rested, go outside, and I spit it with the guy. We up on the
The weak and the strong. Who got
alive. Drive, look alive, look alive. Niggas came up on this side, now they on us on the side. Oh well, fuck them dog, we gon' see how hard they ride. I get rested, go outside, and I spit it with the guy. We up on the
It is now time for the Styles Report with ERIN Styles.
Is the Styles Report. So let's jump into it, right? First, I want to thank everybody for tuning in last week. I appreciate it. It was my very first show. So I appreciate you guys staying, watching, listening, and being there for. So we have a few things to talk about. We're just going to do a week recap of what's been going on out here. It's a clusterfuck, as always, in America. But here we go. So let's start off. What everybody wants to talk about is the NBA playoffs, right? So the NBA playoffs are going on, but one of the biggest things that are plaguing the league right now is the violence from the stands, right?
Yes, I've seen this.
And I feel like I want to know what is everybody's take on it, because I rewatched the Ron Artest video over the weekend.
Malice at the Palace.
Right, Malice at the Palace. I rewatched the Ron Artest video over the weekend, and I feel like if everybody started Ron Artesting these niggas, you know what I mean, it would put a full stop to that foolishness.
Right.
But I also feel like it's a bigger issue with violence in America, because it seems like as soon as America opened, right, we only been really open for 2 months at this point. We've had
Oh wow.
Right.
I didn't know this.
We've had over 240 mass shootings in the last since the beginning of the year. But shit, are we 200 days into the year?
Right.
Maybe, just maybe. And then in addition to that, to the mass shootings, you have all of the violence on the airlines. Like, I was reading that.
On the airline.
They're fighting. And that's what I don't understand. It's like we are on this metal motherfucking tube in the middle of the sky being piloted by a nigga we don't get to see until we land. You know what I mean? Like, and this is where y'all decide y'all want to motherfucking rumble and handle it?
Yeah,
Bruh, sit your ass down until we fucking come down from these 30,000 feet. But I ask everybody, what is your take on the violence in the NBA? And what do you think is the solution for it? Because it's like, yeah, they're arresting these people or banning them from the arena. What the fuck does that mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, if the player decided to, like a Ron Artest, right, get up in the stands and start whooping ass, obviously they're going to get fined. So it's at some point, it's like, where is this incitement of violence, the underlining issue?
Well, I have a question. Do you think it happens because they're so close to the actual talent? Because, like, you got to think baseball doesn't really happen in baseball, I don't think. Football definitely doesn't happen in football. I don't know about hockey fans.
I don't know what it is with the sheer disrespect of the players. It's like, why are you spending your money to come here to throw shit at people? You know what I mean? Like, if you have that much disdain for the team and for this particular player, like, what's the point? And is it really worth getting arrested over throwing a fucking Dasani bottle, even though Dasani is the worst water in the world? So I understand why that nigga got arrested for that. You know what I mean? But is it really worth it, throwing like a fucking Dasani bottle?
I think so. I think when you say somebody's a fan, by definition of word, of course you would know
Is a
this.
Fanatic.
Right, and if you ever look at what a fanatic is,
Someone crazy.
It kind of fits along with what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe you have to take down the fanism or the fandom of people at these arenas and just treat these people like human beings instead of like objects, I would say, you know.
So what do you think the consequence would be for the fans, for the people in the stand who are? I forget the white guy's name on ESPN. He had a good point that even though these things are happening inside of arenas, it's still America. We still have laws, and just like anywhere else, if I threw a bottle at you on the sidewalk, I'll go to jail. Right.
Same consequence. I don't think it should be any difference because you're inside of a building. You know what I mean? And I think that'll fix it if they understood that I can't just, if I say something to you that's a bit sexist or racial, I can go to jail for this.
Right.
They should just apply the same rules that they apply outside the arena. I think that'll fix everything. You know?
Okay. Now, do you think it is a generational thing? Like, because I don't remember having, besides the Ron Artest situation, I don't remember there ever being this much kind of like ruckus from the stands.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's always like this.
So why is it now that it seems like they're enforcing the rules, so to speak? The NBA or the arena are just now enforcing the rules if something like this has been taking place over the course of the league.
I think the players are different. I think before it was a shut up and play kind of mentality. People were just happy to be out the ghetto, happy to be in the NBA. And I think now these kids feel like they've earned their way into the NBA, so they don't have to just take whatever comes with it. You know, there's legendary stories about black athletes either playing on the Boston Celtics team and getting racist remarks said at them and the opposing team. So you can, as early as Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, who played for Boston, you know, they called them niggers and all kind of stuff.
Right.
So I don't think that I don't know. I don't want to just put it on Boston either, but I've been to Laker games. It's not that bad at Laker game, but we're a little more bougie out here. So it could be a cultural thing.
And I also think Boston is historically a fiercely racist town.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's fiercely racist. So that could be another thing. But then also in sports, we're talking about Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, the tennis player.
The tennis player,
She's
right?
dope.
She's dope as shit. She's dope as shit. So earlier this week, if anybody is unaware, the French Open started, I believe, yesterday or maybe a few days ago. And prior to the French Open, she released a statement and said that she was going to excuse herself from doing the after-game press conferences because it fucks with her depression and her anxiety, and she's not a public speaker, and this, that, and the third. And she just doesn't feel like the press conference is needed for her job. You know what I mean? She's a tennis player. Why do I need? And her reasoning was, sometimes you have these people who are coming off of losses, right? And now they're already beating themselves up because they lost, but now they're sitting here and getting all these dumbass fucking questions, basically making them question themselves even further, you know?
Right.
And she says, and it spirals into a lot of mental health issues for her and depression. So the French Open said, well, if you don't do the press, we're going to fine you $15,000.
That's fair.
Right? So she checks her bank account like, okay, I could afford that. Bet, right? So she plays the first game or first match. She wins it. She doesn't do press. Like she told you, nigga. She gave y'all a head up. I'm not going to do the press. Well, then they threatened to expunge her from the tournament if she didn't get an order. Right. So basically, she just was like, okay, well, let me know when y'all figure this shit out, but I'm just going to exit stage left. Like, I think what's the transition that's happening now is that a lot of these athletes are starting to gain autonomy over themselves. Before, they were always beholden to the league and the league rules and what they had to do. But now the players, I think, are realizing that they are the commodity. Remember, we had that conversation this time last year.
Right.
That they are the commodity. And without me, you know what I mean? That kind of fucks up your business model because you only have a business off of my back.
Right.
So either you guys, we meet in the middle somewhere or we come to come to an understanding, but you can't blatantly threaten us anymore. Right. Because before we didn't have our own platform. You couldn't speak out for yourself. You had to find a journalist or find, you know what I mean, a media outlet to print your story. But now they have their own, basically their own PR in the form of Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media outlet that they use. But now the French Open has basically done an about face because she basically told you niggas, all right, bet. Fuck y'all.
Did they bring her back?
No, she said she's not coming back.
Oh, shit. I ain't watching.
But everybody is now on her side. And I think that they thought they were going to be on the organization side. Right. Because, mental health and depression and anxiety is a huge topic that's been around for, I would say, at least heavy for the last couple of years. Everybody is tuning into their mental health. So it's like, it makes you reevaluate, why do we need to have this press conference after the fact? Because it's basically what you're saying is that you as a journalist, right, sat here, watched the whole entire fucking match, but yet you can't put your own words and create a story or an article or whatever about what you saw. You need sound bites from me in order for you to do your job. And I don't need you on the court. You know what I mean? To help me hit this ball. So why do you need something from me in order for you to do your job? And then when you're doing your job, you guys are real fucking nasty. And then another thing is that usually she's a young Haitian and Japanese, biracial woman. And you see how they treated Serena and Venus when they first came in. They was fucked up to them. And it's like, so she's sitting there and usually the people that are looking back at her are usually white males. You know what I mean? Who are disconnected from her just as a person, and they always come with the dumbest fucking questions. So it's like, why be bothered? Because you even see players in the NBA who don't want to be bothered with that shit. We always remember the famous, I'm only here so I won't get fined.
Oh, yeah, that was
hilarious. You know what I mean? Years ago, when he was like, I'm only here so I don't get fined. Same French Open that banned Serena Williams for wearing that black cat suit. I don't know if you guys remember.
Of course. That's the only outfit I ever remember from tennis.
But what you guys don't understand is Nike designed that cat suit. It was a compression suit because she has a history of blood clots.
Oh, yeah, I remember the story.
So, and she had just given birth. So they designed this special compression jumpsuit to help alleviate her blood clots while she is playing. And the U.S. Open, I guess, thought it was too provocative because, you know, she got body. You know what I mean? She got body. So they banned her for it because they didn't want her to wear it. And she said, but it's a health reason. It's not like I'm wearing it because I'm trying to show off the ass. You're going to see it regardless. But I'm wearing it to alleviate blood clots because she almost died during childbirth. You know what I mean? Right. I don't know if you saw her special, but Serena almost died during childbirth because I guess with her history of blood clots, she knows what they feel like in her body. And she kept trying to tell her doctors, even as a Serena Williams, who probably has the best healthcare, best, you know, network, medical network. But she was trying to tell her doctors like, yo, I need a test ran. Like, I feel like I have a blood clot in my lungs. And they were really blowing her off until she was very adamant about it. Like, no, run, you know what I mean? Run my shit. And of course, she had a blood clot. So I just, seems to me that it's always something with Black women. And I hate to take it back to race because it's like we don't always want to pull out the race card, but it's always like we can never just be and exist. You know what I mean? It's like everybody wants to have some type of control over us and our narrative and what we do, and we can never just be. And I say that to segue into this whole fucking bonnet situation, right? Well, let me say this. If you have any callers, let's call in. What's the number? Where is it at?
Hold on. I got it. I got the number. Hang on. It's the old number, y'all. It is. You remember the numbers?
It's 818.
Hang on. I just had it sent to me this morning. It's 818.
818.
914.
914.
4087.
4087.
818-914-4087. Call in if you got a question, you got a comment.
If you have a question, comment, concern, just want to talk a little shit.
Wait, before you get to the bonnet thing, I think I was going to end with that. I do think it has a lot more to do with, I don't want to say race, but you got, if you're a white woman, like you said, most of the men at these tennis matches are white men. Right? So if you're a wealthy white woman, a white man, and you see this Black woman, now you have all these white men staring at her, wanting to be with this Black woman, right? Mm-hmm. Which takes finances away from white families, because as you see, she ended up marrying a white man.
Who's Serena?
Right. So I think they might have been on. The same thing happens to back in the slavery day. They used to castrate all the men when they would hang them and shit, you know, because it wasn't so much about the race of the person. It was about them having sex with their women and all these kind of things.
Right, but we can also use the same argument that they might think because she married a white man that resources are coming out of their community, right?
That's what I'm saying, right.
However, we can feel the same way because Serena Williams is not no broke bitch, you know what I mean? So because we could feel the same way because he married a Black woman, you know what I mean? Now those resources are no longer within our community. I don't even think it has anything to do with that. I just feel like
it can't have anything to do with her body because in tennis in general...
But nobody has that body.
No, I know. But in tennis in general, right?
They wear those little tennis skirts.
That's the outfit.
But they ain't no ass up underneath them. You know what I mean? That tennis skirt sit different when you got an ass.
Yeah, but if she would have had a tennis skirt on and all that ass, then I would have been like, okay, right. I just think all the white dudes was hawking over it and maybe they just got a little upset about that shit.
I don't know.
That shit was on the news. Like, how many outfits make Channel 11?
But I feel like it was on the news because of her body, not because of the outfit.
Of course.
But that's also another thing is that this woman can't even go out and do her job and worry about her health without being hypersexualized because of her body. And it's like you have to think if somebody has from the age of 10, 11, 12, 13, the whole time that their body is developing, they've been a professional athlete.
Right.
Of course, she's gonna have body. That's just like when you look at softball players or you look at track and field, runners or whatnot. If you're training the whole time that your body is developing, you're gonna have a nice body. You're gonna build ridiculous amount of muscle, and I really feel like that's all it is with Serena. Is just that she's been working out since day fucking one. She's never given her body the
yeah, because her sister's not as.
Right, but you have to think Venus didn't play as much as Serena. She retired before Serena. Serena was actually the better player, so she was doing more matches and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of outfits and being hypersexualized, what's with y'all wearing these damn bonnets? What's with the bonnet? I don't want to call it a bonnet culture because I remember my grandmother wearing a bonnet, but she never left the house in it.
Okay, I get it, and I just feel like, why is it that women of color can't just be casual? I mean, why can't we just be bumming it one day? Like, and not to say to correlate a bonnet with being a bum, you know what I mean? But it's like, why don't we get the luxury and the leisure? Because nobody's having these conversations. They're talking about, oh, you go through the airport and you see all these women with these bonnets on and this and that. But how many times I've been in the airport and I've seen these white girls in full pajamas with a whole blanket and a pillow that they done got off their bed. You know what I mean?
That's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing, but I'm always saying that both parties are doing it, but it's always the black woman that's scrutinized for it. It's like, why are we always having to be pulled together? Why are we always having to be, you know what I mean, dressed to the nines, hair perfect, makeup perfect, outfit perfect? Like, why can't we just be sometimes? You know what I mean?
I definitely think it's a culture. Here, say something. I think it's definitely a cultural thing.
You think our culture puts the pressure on us?
I just think that when people have different cultures, maybe it might, ruffle a little feathers. 'Cause like you said, other nationalities, they walk out the house and whatever the fuck they want. But I remember in early 2000s was the do-rag era.
Right.
And even my dad would kind of question me, like, you wearing that outside the house? Until he kind of figured it was a fashion thing. Right? But he was
right.
Like, this is something you do at home, nigga. You put your nightcap on, you go to sleep. Before you leave the house, you take it off. He didn't understand. So is it moving into like a fashion? Like, are y'all wearing these things like hats?
No,
because then we'll let it go. But if you just being lazy, we can't let that slide.
I don't think they're wearing it as hats. I think what it is that they got some shit to do later on, and their hair, she ain't got time for their hair to be fucked up. Like, especially if you're traveling. Like, if I'm traveling and I got a fresh wrap, that shit staying wrapped until,
fresh wrap?
Like, if my hair's straight and I wrap it up, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
My hair's staying wrapped till I land.
So if you take it off, it falls.
Yeah, like my shit is staying wrapped until I land. Because why am I fucking up my press and curl on this fucking flight? You know what I mean? You got to think, my hair is rubbing up against the headrest. All this moving around. It's like, why? Right. Why am I fucking up my hair for this flight? No, I'm gonna take my shit down for the people that's picking me up. You know what I mean?
So maybe as black women, right? Y'all should have a fashionable bonnet that you could wear in public.
They're always fashionable.
Not the leopard prints. You gotta stop with.
Women love what is it about?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? I have to ask this question.
I like cheetah.
I've been wondering this my whole life.
I let you know my demeanor. No.
What is up with black women in animal print?
We're warriors.
Can't figure it out.
I don't know, but I know that black men hate animal print. We love a leopard dress or a little leopard number.
We hate it.
And then, because I remember I had on this leopard dress and I went to, like, my cousin's graduation, and all my female family was like, oh, that dress is cute. And all my guys was like, why you be wearing leopard?
Like a sofa. They got this.
Who doesn't like leopard? But my issue with the bonnet thing was with Monique.
Monique, the comedian?
Monique, the comedian. She decided that it was somebody passed her the torch, right? And it was, we have a caller.
Oh, shit, Erin. You're moving up in the world.
All right. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Nakia from the Bay.
Shit.
Hey, Nakia.
Hey, so my whole problem itself with Monique's little clip about complaining about the bonnets and stuff is that, first of all, how you gonna sit there and create a video complaining about what someone's wearing and you're doing the video in your robe?
That was what I was gonna say, and with no bra. Let's say that. And then the robe ain't even jazzy. It wasn't like it was no Versace robe or some regular
titties
shit.
hanging everywhere.
Yeah, titties hanging everywhere.
What did she say about the bonnet?
Well, she doesn't.
But basically,
keep going. You're the caller.
Go ahead.
Okay, so she was basically saying how, when she sees a black woman out with her bonnet on or her fuzzy slippers or something like that, that it's just uncultured and it just looks sloppy and everything else. And I'm like, well, to be honest, there are some bonnets that are cute as fuck. This how it is. But myself, I don't go outside in the bonnet. That's just me. But I'm like, if anyone else is out there, that's not my complaint. Now, my complaint is the people that be sitting there going to the goddamn store with the fuzzy slippers on and their pajamas look like they just got out the house and didn't take a bath.
Yeah.
Now wait, Nakia, are y'all talking about this video? Now listen, Monique, you're a black woman.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Nakia?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, yeah. Monique, you're a black woman, so I'm gonna respect you. But if y'all talking about this video where she got this drunk V-neck on.
The bathrobe is gray?
No, she's in a car in this video, and she got 2 pair of glasses on.
That's not it.
It says she's talking about maybe this is the second video she put out.
Oh, maybe it's the second one because people drugged
Because this is
shit
worse.
out of
Because
her.
now she got a pair on her face and then one on her head, and she
Like
got a
an old
drunk
lady.
V-necks on. Right. So I think Monique is having a problem with because she said it's not cultured, right? Which means she's trying to assimilate into someone else's culture because we're the only people who rock bonnets in public and fuzzy slippers.
Right.
So that is our culture.
Exactly.
Right.
So she just doesn't want to be a part of our culture is what she's saying.
Well, what I don't understand is that she is condemning these girls for being seen by a couple of hundred people in the airport, right? But yet you have 1 million plus followers and you decided that to get, like, you're going to address these women about their appearance, but you coming in with, you know what I mean? Like with this dusty ass robe on, no fucking bra, and you're being seen to millions of people.
Right.
Like, it's a contradiction. Like, I know you think you having a, hey, sweetheart, my sister, baby girls, listen to me, darlings. You know she be on that shit, right? That old auntie shit. But it's like, you're having a whole discussion with us about being presentable at all times, yet you have 1 million people who are watching you just off top, even take your own advice to at least, bitches, act like this Zoom, put on a button up or something. You know what I mean?
V-neck is fucked up.
You didn't even take your own advice. So it's like sometimes you gotta, if the message come from the wrong messenger, ain't nobody listening.
Well,
Exactly, because like I work from home and I have to do meetings on Teams and shit. I don't give a fuck. For me, when it comes to that, because I know that they record them and they may play them on letter, I make sure that my hair is done, I at least have on some lipstick, and I have on a nice shirt. As long as I'm cool. And then, like I said, I'm not the type of person, I don't like to go outside in bonnets. That's just how I was raised. My mom was like, look, if you're going out, you know you're going to see somebody because we social butterflies. You're going to see somebody everywhere you go. So I always try to make sure at least I have on sweats and a T-shirt, but I ain't never went outside in no damn bonnet and house slippers. Even when my car got towed to my house and the tow truck was outside, I snatched my bonnet off to go outside.
I've never gone out in a bonnet.
I mean,
I'll throw a hat on real quick though. I'll tuck all this shit up underneath the hat.
I always wrap my hair and I'm outside with it, but my hair is short and I'm trying to keep it laid if I'm laying it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
see,
if you got a couple errands to run, it's like I don't think people understand is that because our hair is so precious and it takes so much time and it takes so much care that if we have an event to go to or if we have something to do, we are trying to look our best for that.
Right.
So all the other bullshit we doing before wherever it is we're supposed to be, it's like we don't care because where we're showing up presentable. Right. You know what I mean?
Do you
Exactly.
Nikia, this is for you too. Do you guys think that maybe Monique is being questioned by her white colleagues, you know, other white women, maybe just be asking her in random conversations, hey, what's up with y'all wearing bonnets and, you know, at the supermarket? And maybe she may just feel like...
I think she said in the video that basically what just happened was that she was at the airport and seen some women at the airport with their bonnets and slippers on.
But this is from the same woman who has...
Was it a red eye?
Who has repeatedly said, especially if it's late at night or first thing in the morning.
You feel me?
But my thing is, this is the same woman who has said for years that she don't shave her legs. She'll come up in here with a dress on above her knees and legs look like wolves from the... Right. To me, that's not presentable.
Right.
Like,
that's not very ladylike.
It's not presentable at all. So it's like,
not very
you're going to tell
ladylike.
these women about protecting their hair, but you're walking around looking like Tony from the fucking knees down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that kind of, to me, that kind of signals a little more like she may not like being black as much as we think she does, you know.
I don't think she has a problem with being black. I just feel like
when you say that wearing bonnets is not very cultured, right? That's not true because there's only one group of people who do it, which is us. So that makes it a cultural thing when it's spread throughout the culture.
People even understand is
Don't
that
take her out of context without, like, you know, because she could be saying like just like, oh no, we supposed to be regal people, we supposed to be graceful at all times. So she could just be saying that.
But you would have to.
Well, if she was saying that, she would have said that. She said something else. I
You
can't
have to
exactly
get-
what she said, but she said something else. But I think it's more of her because she no longer, because of her being blackballed, is that's her way to appealing to her white fans to try to say, yeah, see, Monique thinks y'all ghetto, so let's bring Monique back into the and give her some work.
and I think the people she's addressing don't even know who she is.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
all
say
these
True.
these
Monique ain't got no
girls,
fans.
these young girls that she's addressing were like born around the time of Queens of Comedy in early 2000s, so
Right.
they don't even fucking know who Monique is to even be speaking to us to hear, you know what I mean, to hear your message. But side note, what's up with men wearing fucking slides everywhere? Like,
I was raised not to do that.
to wear slides?
I don't know not one man in my
I was finna, yeah.
my circle. Not
That
one
was
Yeah,
a-
that's
I
not
see,
something I
don't
know
but
about. But,
personally,
okay, y'all have a
just
good
like
one.
you say, you
Thank
go
you.
out and you see the women in the bonnets, but I feel the same way. You go out and you see men in slides.
Right.
slide, I automatically giggle.
Yeah, like I
He
don't.
gonna get his not blocked.
Right. Because that's how I was raised.
Right.
A man, you don't never know what's gonna pop off. Make sure you got on some decent shoes.
It's always a hint of violence, nigga. Just when you going through life, nigga, because first of all, it's nothing wrong wearing slides. If you going to the gym, if you leaving the gym, you going to the beach. You feel me? You can throw your Crocs and slides on. It's cool.
Right.
If you out in these streets, man, because as a man, as a man, I'm not even a violent person. But like Sky said, you just look like a sucker, nigga. You just because if anything happened, we know you not gonna do shit.
Right.
We know that.
Kick them slides
you ain't gonna
off
do shit
and
with your toes stepped on, nigga. Yeah.
Colin, what's your name and where you calling from?
What up, y'all? It's Big J in Dallas.
What's cracking,
Hey, man,
Jay?
I'm just going to say on the slide situation, man, I was always taught you had to be prepared to fight in any situation.
Right.
And slides and socks in public, you can't defend yourself. That's big facts. You need to have shoes on and be prepared to get them up, chunk them in the streets. I just always assume niggas walking around in slides, you soft.
Yeah.
You was raised by your mom.
Facts. Hey, Jay, before you get off. How do
You can't go toe-to-toe to a grown man in those slides.
No, literally you can because your toes is out. But
You will be asleep.
Jay,
The dude is weaker than you. You can't get no grip.
Jay, how do you feel about women in bonnets though?
All right, I already added my comment. I'm not going to pile on too much, but I just think it's look, you ladies are saying that you want to preserve your hair for somewhere else, but you're in public. We can see you, and more important, you're representing all of us when you're in public. And there's nothing about a bonnet, PJs, wearing house shoes, walking around in halter tops, that speaks well of us as a people. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good if it's black, white, Mexican, Asian. I don't care.
Bonnet and fuzzy slippers on and shit.
He walked up to me in slides.
That's a good point, Sky.
But you
Well, Sky said if a nigga approach her in slides, then she got a bonnet on. It's all the same thing.
I will give it to her. I think women should hold men to a higher standard. If you walking around in skinny jeans or you wearing them goddamn capri pants, I don't care what you niggas wearing yoga pants. The fuck out of here, man. This shit is getting ridiculous.
No, you can't wear Under Armour.
But toward your
On the
argument, you're
outside.
saying that we are representing you.
No,
guys
if
in public.
you moment and you're
Right.
wearing the appropriate
So what about-
attire, that's not
But
the
this is
same
my thing.
thing.
Is, but
Jay, hold on. Aaron has a
walking around with yoga pants on.
those are yoga pants.
nah, bro. That's not.
Oh no, his son. Oh, okay, yeah.
No, he's talking about like Under Armour. When niggas wear Under Armour over.
I listen
their
off
clothes.
there, man. I'll listen off there. I don't want to overtalk
All right,
you, but
all right, Jay.
y'all on the right track.
Well, no, I have a question before you.
Hold
get
on,
off.
Jay,
I
we
have
got a
question
question.
before you get off the phone. So you were saying that women in bonnets and stuff like that who aren't presentable, as a whole, they represent all of us, right? And that's why you.
Well, we all represent. We
Right.
all represent all.
We represent all
I
of you
see
guys.
that you tend to take some care about
However,
your appearance.
why on
Aaron,
those
everybody
days-
notices when you come in and you're going to appear, you always look in relatively decent order. Your attire is age appropriate. It's professional. It makes you look intelligent and charming. That's a good thing.
Okay, so then
What does it say about
But
yourself?
that's
when
my
you're walking
argument.
around
So why
looking
can't
like
I
you
hold it
like
down
you're
for
going
us
to a slumber
today?
party?
Like, you know what I mean? So if everybody, if I'm a representation and however I come out, I represent all of us, good or bad, right? So on the days when my homegirl's struggling with her bonnet, why I can't step up and be like, okay, I'm gonna be the representation today. Like, I'm gonna hold the weight today. Like, why is it that the women who dress nice and the women who always have their hair done and nails done, there's always an issue with it. Now she high maintenance. Now she like you always
dear.
get your hair nails done. You
No, dear. I
always
think
shopping.
you're
It's always an
mistaken
issue
in
then.
quantity. Perception is about what you see consistently, and unfortunately, I don't consistently see my sisters looking their best on an everyday basis. You go back and look 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago at the way black men and women carried themselves, the way they dressed themselves, the way they comported themselves, the way they talked to one another. I can look at just pictures of my family on doing regular stuff, going to the grocery store, visiting with neighbors. Do you know men wore chinos or slacks just about every day? They didn't even wear jeans. Jeans was considered something that you wore when you were going to work.
Mm-hmm.
They wore slacks, button-up shirts. They looked good. And now when we have even more resources, we are the wealthiest group of African-American men and women, so many things are so much more affordable. We don't, because we have all of these freedoms, we feel like we can just dumb it down to the lowest common denominator. And that's not necessary, man. Look your age, look appropriate, dress in a way that speaks the best about you, whatever that is. And you can have your style, or you can have your swag. Nobody's saying that you can't. But why do we have to dumb it down to the lowest common denominator? It's amazing how many women want to be original and unique and then go out and do the exact same thing every other broad is doing.
But what about the men who are dressed like fucking clowns all the time? You know what I mean? On the other
You're not.
Okay, so then let me ask you this question.
I'm not literally speaking just about my sisters. I see clown-ass niggas out here everywhere.
Okay, so my question to you is...
And literally, if you want to solve that problem, don't give them no pussy. All the rest of you women, stop giving weak, whack niggas pussy.
Like, oh, that's not really
you see them in skinny jeans, walk the fuck away. Giggle at them. You see them wearing capri pants, ask them if they can show you where a real man is.
I agree with that, Jay.
So where do you think...
See, nah, don't even do that, though.
Because I'm just want to know if you feel like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even up to the 80s, everybody was dressed, was very presentable when they left the house. Where do you think the shift came in, and why do you think the shift came in where we got to be way more casual?
Are you sure you want the answer to that?
Yeah.
The rise of female-led households.
The
explosion in the number of female-led households, the lack of having a man around,
the lack of men in the home,
the lack of men in
like
home to guide their sons into conducting and comporting themselves properly. And then
so why is it whenever
the natural apologist in women will apologize for everything, excuse every level of behavior, and not correct things. And it only exacerbates itself as you have generations of households females having females that have more females.
But that's systematic.
You make your sons suckers and you make your daughters weaker. Because half our strength is in our men. Our women are amazing and they're dynamic, but we're incomplete when we don't have households that have both the masculine and the feminine. All right, that's enough of me talking. I'll listen off air.
Okay, I also feel like the women are always, I always say that the issue I have with those type of arguments is that it's always the parent that stayed behind and took care of the responsibility is always the one that gets shunned. You know what I mean? In the female-led households, this, that, and the third. Like, you can't, like, I think it's fucked up to trying to demonize single mothers, right? When they're the ones who are actually doing the fucking work, but we don't really have the conversation for where are these men and where are the fathers and why aren't they here? It's always like, you're just a single mom. No, this nigga left. You know what I mean?
And that's why I said it's systematic because it's not always this nigga left. Because we gonna say this parent could have got locked up.
Right.
And we're not going to say, because this person decided to do something wrong. No. This person got locked up because of this person's color. This person could have got killed. Like, the system is here to break the family down. And where he is saying mothers are more lenient, which is true. Once the system broke down the families, of course, the leniency is more. 2001, remember when everybody was wearing... pajamas to school. That was the style. Like, you went to go get brand new pajamas to wear to school. Like,
right.
But my comment was just, it's systematic.
No, I agree.
And on Jay from Dallas's comment, my bad.
I agree with your point, Scott. I think I think that both sides are hurt. So every time we have this conversation, I often hear men projecting the blame on the women, and then the women vice versa, right? Go to another group of people.
Okay.
Who put systems in place.
Okay.
Because we can, as we're all making a point here, it wasn't always this way.
Right.
So when you look at what happened in the system,
what happened,
you can clearly see they put drugs in our community. And then if you look what happened to the men stopped becoming men. They became stagnant at a boy's age, which is where you see men just constantly wearing jeans and T-shirts. And that's what you do when you're 16, 17 years old, 15, You just never grow out of that because you don't have any male representation in your face that's requiring you to do better, to dress better, to act, act like you got somewhere to go. To his point, my granddad, I used to think this nigga was corny. This nigga wore lacrosse every day. Polo, lacrosse, I've never seen him in nothing else in my entire life. I used to think that shit was hella cheap till I got older and tried to buy something. Then it hit me like, this nigga was getting dressed to the T every day he woke up. You know what I mean? So I just think the men being removed strategically put us in this position, both men and women. But it is 2021, so I mean, at some point, we got to take responsibility.
But I don't feel like we're going to be able to course correct because I feel like there's a whole generation behind us that grew up. They know nothing other than, you know what I mean? They don't have a different reference point. So to try to kind of steer an entire generation to, I guess, parents, I feel like they're very cognizant of the emotional support that comes with a child. You know what I mean? Because previous generations, they felt like if there's food, shelter, and clothes, you're taken care of, you know? And they didn't have that emotional piece with it. And a lot of parents were, you know, broken or hurt people just because of generations and whatnot. But I do feel like this generation of Black parents are very intentional in their parenting and very intentional in what the outcome could be if they go another way. And they're very, they provide a lot of emotional support, you know what I mean? Like mind, body, and spirit for their children nowadays that I feel like a lot of parents years ago didn't provide to their children.
Do you feel like it's helping or hurting, I would just say, our community?
What, to give emotional support?
Right.
I feel like...
well, this increase in emotional support, let's say that.
I think it's helping. Because I think people are able to identify where things are coming from, or if they're angry or whatever, you can pinpoint it. Because a lot of times people are just angry out here, but they don't know why they're angry, or they don't know why they're hurting, or they don't know where they went left. But I feel like this is like they're cognizant of it. So they're cognizant of nurturing their children, nurturing their partner, making sure their partner is happy and healthy and stuff like that. Because as much as they say that, you know, Black people aren't getting married, and maybe it just might be my internets, but it seems like these young people and these Black people, they're like really wanting to kind of change the narrative and start families and get married and have healthy marriages, you know what I mean? Versus just saying we married because we got pregnant, you know? They're actually putting into the work to have a healthy, bountiful relationship. That's what I feel.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds good, so I don't want to go against it. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, I don't know no young people right now.
And I just don't like right. I know two married couples. You know what I mean?
I think it's also a geographical thing, because I find that in California, I don't really know too many married couples. But when I go to my family in like Houston or Georgia and stuff, I got a cousin who got married fresh out of college. They 22, 23 years old, you know? Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up, Vernon?
My thing with the dress is this.
Okay.
As Black folks, we look up, most of the time, we look up to celebrities that set the trends, because that's the truth. Celebrities, 9 out of 10, they set the trends. What's wrong with it is that you got these grown-ass men dressing like half-ass men and fucking women. There's no way in the fuck a grown-ass man should be walking around in jeggings. No, not just jeggings, sagging jeggings.
That's the thing, sagging the skinny jeans. That shit.
That squeeze up by your calf.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I hate. Is like if you go
and then you got dudes that'll follow that shit and thinking that shit is what's popping, and you go, no, my young nigga, that's not what's popping.
Vernon, but where are they gonna get the example of how to present themselves?
Okay, here's an idea.
I got Young Thug and shit.
No, see, here's the thing. Dude, set your own fucking trend. Be your own fashion setter. Do shit that you feel is what's popping. It may not be what you do is what you do. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing and how everybody else see the world and all. That's all fine and dandy when you a follower. But when you are a leader, you tend to be the one that people follow.
Did you follow?
You may be because it's hard. It's hard out here to actually be a leader, because most people don't even know what a leader is and what the definition of a leader is. Everybody wants to be the leader, but nobody actually wants to take that responsibility and jump their ass out there in that spotlight. So when a decision is made and everybody looking at you, you're the one to say, yeah, I made that decision on the best thing I can think of at the moment.
So let me ask you this, Vernon. What is a current fashion trend that's going on that you just are over?
First of all, pull your motherfucking pants up. That's my thing.
Man.
Yeah, I agree.
Nobody wants to see your drawers, nothing. Don't nobody want to see that. Pull your fucking pants up because it makes you look sloppy. Number one. Number two, you never know who's actually out there watching you, so you may be fucking up a potential job opportunity or a money opportunity because you out here dressing like a damn bum. That's number one.
Okay.
That was number two. But go ahead.
Okay, that's number 2. I'll give you that. So what about Nick? What is a...
Hold on, Vern. I'm a fashion... let me think. I don't know. Come back to me. He already said
wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Hey, take your little brother's pants
And
off.
they sag skinny jeans.
I'ma
And they be
say-
skinny. Like skinnier than my jeans.
Take your little brother's pants off and go put some pants
And the
on
thing I
that.
hate is when they have skinny jeans, but then they wear like a size 12 or 13. So you got these little bitty tight ass fucking jeans, and then you got these boat of fucking feet looking just stupid.
Or if the pants don't fit, like I don't even want to put them out there like that. But there's a rapper, I mess with him.
Wait a minute. Put them out there because there's a few rappers out there who dress like they dressing in their little brother's clothes. Go put some shit on that fit.
It's hard to dress big dudes because big
It ain't.
dudes, they don't have a lot of. They don't have
For
a lot of
pants?
options.
No, we're just talking
That's
about
a lie.
his pants. It
That's
seems
a
like
lie. Take your
everybody's
ass to
pants
big and
are like
tall.
one size
Take
too
your
small.
ass to big and tall and get you some clothes. I'm a big
I'm
dude.
gonna answer right now, Vern. That's not what it is. You have to understand something. When they're shopping, right? 'Cause I went through the same shit. When they're shopping at all these European stores. They don't go up but so big.
Right.
And European men are built different.
Right.
than black
That's why
men.
you take your ass to big.
Right.
That's why you take your ass to a big and tall store because nowadays there's no excuse for nobody to be walking around dressing like they in their little brother's clothes.
That's the problem.
But they want to be in designer.
Because what is he gonna wear? FUBU jeans, nigga. He can't go wear some Levi's. Like,
Why can't
Because
he?
they gonna clown him.
But that's my whole thing. Is like,
But,
why does
but,
everything
but
have to
Nick,
be?
here's the thing. What you just said, what you just said is why people dress they dress. You shouldn't give a fuck about what the next person is wearing. Yes. Why? Because that's just what it is.
Hold on, Vern.
Not cool. You should get. It's a certain age that you should be like, hey, what the fuck you want to wear? I don't give a fuck. People tried to clown me because I used to wear triple goose down coats. I don't give a fuck. I'm warm, dumbass. You the one walking out here with 2 sweaters on and a jacket. Bitch, I'm in my triple goose down and I'm warm than a motherfucker. How about that?
That shit sound
How about
cold.
that? Triple S sound like a G.
That shit sound cold, Vern.
Like
A
a
triple
cold
goose.
jet.
That shit sound cold.
Gotta look it up. What is it called?
I
Say
think
it one more time. Wait, say what?
it's a triple goose. What, Vernon?
Triple
A
goose.
triple goose down coat.
All right, we finna post it. Thanks, Vern.
It's
Oh, my bag, Vern. I didn't know you still talking, Vern. My bag. Oh, so Hemp Tackler says, he says bingo as far as the T Grizzly pants thing. That it's a little difficult for men to find clothes that fit. That's why you ever notice like we don't try on clothes at stores.
Right, but I thought, the reason I thought that men don't try on clothes at stores is because men's sizes are more standardized than women.
Right, because they don't.
Go
Right,
into 5 different
right.
stores
That's
and
why
get
though.
5 size 12s,
Right,
and they all a different
right.
size.
And if you a man, nigga, jeans is
32
jeans.
by
Nigga.
33.
But that's starting to change though because now you have the Zaras and you have the H&Ms. It's a cheaper material, so it's not as stiff as some of the products you get from the higher end stores. But they still cutting your shit kind of slender, nigga. Like, you know.
I have noticed that because I do like shopping at Zara, and I've noticed that they've started to add a lot of extra larges and extra larges because before Zara was just large. If you couldn't,
There wasn't
get
no
to
black
that,
people
yeah,
shopping
if you
there.
couldn't get to that
Right.
large next door. You know what I mean? But
Right.
now I feel like they're being a little bit more inclusive. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Caller.
Hey, how you doing? McVeigh from Houston.
What's cracking, McVeigh?
It's this one myself. So I just went camping. I left my car, but no, I didn't leave my keys. Over the years, I've seen people get rentals for other people, and then people crash the rental. Like people be reckless and people not care. I've seen people go out of town and somebody use their car and go rob people before. So yeah, like nah, I don't play that. I trust you and all that, but not with my key.
Okay.
So if you took my car, oh yeah, nah, that'd be a problem.
You know, I think men are a little different because
If you leave me your key, Nick, I'm driving your car.
no, but this is why I'm gonna say men are different though because like I feel like women have a circle of friends, right, that may not all be best of friends, right?
Okay.
It may be longevity relationship, it may just be whatever reason you keep around. I think men kind of structure their relationships a little different. So the company we keep, those are solid people. So I think that's why he's saying that. Like, if I got my partner, I know this nigga. I know him well enough to leave my car there, so I know what kind of nigga this is. I don't have to worry about no goofy shit happening. I think more so, I couldn't imagine one of my homies taking my car, nigga, and just taking a road trip. And just think I'm not going to... He got to be prepared to fight me, nigga. Like
this particular scenario that I'm actually drawing from, because this is somebody online who it was a huge topic on Twitter this past week, but she left it at her guy. My last name is not spelled with a Y. Sorry, I just noticed that.
Oh, I just noticed that too. it's only on there that I could change that.
Oh, sorry. But it was her guy friend. She left it at her guy friend's house.
Okay.
So he took her car to LA.
Is he hitting?
And back. No.
That's kind of strange.
She said the only reason she left her car there was because she calculated the parking and it was going to be over $200. So she left her car. Only reason she left the keys is because he has on his street, opposite street
right.
keys
That's
and
good.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
So he would just be able to move it on the street cleaning days. But that nigga got him and the homies and was like, let's run to LA.
Did she pay him to store the car?
From the sound of it, it didn't.
Then
and
that's
from
her
the sound
fault.
Of it, he didn't tell her.
It's her fault.
Like, I wouldn't even trip though if the car was safe. I would be mad, but I wouldn't be as mad if something happened.
Like if nothing happened to the vehicle, they just did it. But
and you just put the miles on my car. But my car is not that great of a car, so I wouldn't trip. But if I had like a Mercedes or something, I'd probably be mad.
I don't know, from a man's point of view, like I would trip on the fact that I would feel like the nigga think I'm a pussy, that he could just take my shit. I wouldn't give a fuck what it was. It's not the car that's bothering me, because I left the car there, so obviously I trust you. But if you took my shit, that's gonna be the problem, not the fact that it's a car. Yeah, like.
Well, okay, so
I feel like a nigga try to bitch me, but
I was about to say, okay, so chat room or our listeners, call in 818-914-4087.
Did she call and check on the car? Did she call?
Well, no, she said the way she found out was watching this nigga's Instagram.
the nigga had the volume up.
And she saw her car when that
Zooming.
was in LA.
Zooming,
like,
nigga.
because niggas.
He over here posting and going live.
Right, it's like,
but see, she
should
should have
do live shit and like if you gonna do some janky shit, we ain't on the internet.
He probably didn't even think he was being.
She should have left him like half of what she was gonna spend on parking. That way he didn't have no leverage over her, He probably feel like I'm storing her car. Fuck that shit, nigga. We out.
Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Just felt entitled.
What up? It's Big J, man. My son had something to say, and he's a senior in high school, my youngest son. And he said, watching how I dressed, watching how I prepare my clothes, most of the time I wear button-ups, slacks, jeans, chinos, whatever. Seeing me launder my clothes, iron my clothes, the way I pick out my clothes, he said has affected and influenced the way he dresses. He doesn't dress like a lot of the young men that he sees, and he said, I actually get a lot of compliments because I don't look like a typical nigga. He said, I look better and I feel better about myself. And he had never told me that, man, except for this conversation, man. Honestly, man, he had never given me a nice compliment like that, but he just said, I carry myself because I see how you carry yourself, and it influences the way he experiences the world. So I think that's another example of how people model after you, whether or not you see them doing.
I agree.
Let me piggyback off that, but you know what? My dad, he get up and he get dressed every day to go to work. I hear the sound back, but basically every day he get up, he get dressed. And when I worked at a real estate company, I did just that. I got up and I got dressed fly every day. Like the women in ITP, y'all remember back when I was there, 06, 07, every woman in there end up switching it up as a real estate office, black owned, black company. But the women used to come in there looking busted and dusty, and I was in there fresh every day, like I'm on set somewhere. So, because of my dad, and he get up.
I will say that because I do remember I had two jobs. One when I was working at the city of Houston. And then one when I was working out here, but they dress real basic, but I would always come dressed, and I noticed like after like a month or so, I was like, oh, okay, these bitches is dressing up. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
First thing I want to ask a question, and then I want to respond to the question that I asked because I want to make sure everybody understands.
Okay.
And people ask this question, where are all the black leaders?
They got shot, nigga.
No. Where they are is that first and foremost they are under someone else's thumb, because once you become a problem, a small problem, they don't want a Malcolm X, they don't want a Martin Luther King, they don't want these people who can uplift black folks. What they do is that they let you they make sure they find your vice, and once they find your vice, they allow you to indulge in that vice. And us as black folks, a lot of times, we feel like we've been doing whatever we've been doing for so long, we feel like we can't be touched. So then these white folks go, oh, really? So then they turn the mirror and they show everybody, This is the person that you put your faith in right here. And we go, oh, damn. That's why. That's why we as black folks really don't like to follow up under people, because what white people do, and they do this well. I know I'm not a white proponent. I'm not, but this is what they do well. They will lift us up. They lift these quote unquote people that they gonna rise to the top. They lift them up and then they yank the ladder out from under them and let them watch them fall on their face.
Hey, but Vernon, I don't think it's we can't just put that on people. Cause I'm gonna say this as a hold on now hold on now. I'm just saying as a black male hold on Vernon hold on Vernon. I just think as a black male, like I often hear women when they go into dating, all the qualifications a black man has to have to be considered a good catch.
Okay, like what?
Oh my God,
like,
nigga got
talk to me crazy.
No. I'm talking about that we have to possess, right? Like, so a black man got. I'm just saying from what I've heard. This is not universal, of course. You gotta be funny. You gotta be able to make money. He's gotta be ambitious. He's gotta love kids, nigga. He's gotta.
These are general traits. I don't think anything that you just named was out of reach.
Well, no. Because I'm only saying this because I agree with you. These are common things you should expect in a normal person, right? But I'm just saying when it comes to a black man, our qualifications are not that steep, right? We don't harp on.
So what are y'all's qualifications?
Watch how short this shit is. Is she coachable? Is she cute? Am I attracted to her? That's it, nigga. Has she fucked all the homies? If that's a no, we good to go. Long as none of the homies go, nigga, that's Keisha. We straight. That's what
But
like.
if it was from Keisha from 10 years ago, you still won't fuck with Keisha?
I'm good. I'm not fucking with the homie girl. But I feel like women. Hold on, Vernon. I feel like women. I don't know. Put a lot of pressure on black men. Everybody just to be all these things. A nigga gotta be funny. A nigga gotta have a good job. Mm-hmm. He gotta be able to hoop, nigga. He gotta be able to dress nice. Nigga gotta smell good. These qualifications. And a woman won't fuck with the nigga if he doesn't possess.
Not all of them, but I feel like
how many qualities a nigga has? So you said let's say 5. 5. Let's say it's 5, right? Mm-hmm. Vernon, call right back. This is finna get good. Let's say 5. Sky, you in on this? How many does a person have to possess out of the 5 in order to qualify to even feel like going on a date or some shit?
Oh, see, but I'm so shallow.
Yeah, this is my point. This is proving my point.
Shiny bald and can't grow your hair.
Nigga, that's one thing, nigga. You fumble one time, it's over. You hit it?
Right, he got hereditary hair loss. He off the list.
God gave the list for me in my heart, in my spirit.
That's crazy.
And he said, you're not the one.
So no baldies.
You can't be bald.
She said shiny bald, nigga. That's hilarious.
And that's about it for so far. And then I can deal with everything else. We'll go from there.
That ain't bad.
Circumcising you. That ain't bad. Bald, I'll give you a conversation in that conversation.
That's fucked
up. Definitely the circumcised.
She said I will give you a conversation.
That uncircumcised dick is just a headache.
Well, listen, we're talking about when you meet a person. Are you gonna ask the nigga when you meet him?
Yes, if I like you and
we're talking about superficial.
What?
Let's go superficial.
I'm saying, say we work together.
So I can say I don't like girls with long nipples, nigga, but that's down the line.
And I just like you, and I just have that vibe. I definitely will ask.
No. I'm saying let's go superficial, right?
I don't understand.
So like things that could change.
What you mean?
So superficial things.
Oh, like things that can change.
Right. Let's say superficial.
No, I don't. I'm not like that.
I don't want to change anybody. Because I don't want you changing me.
So you're only going to stick to things you can't change.
Like maybe being on time or little things like, little topical things.
Okay.
But
that's refreshing.
At this age, people are who they are. You know what I mean? And if they want to change, it's going to have to come for them. So it's like, I know how hard it is to change things about myself. You know what I mean? So it's like, how can I expect that I'm going to have that power over somebody else if that's not what they want to do?
And that sound like I got to raise you or something. I don't want to train you to be the person. Nah, I ain't got time for that.
Right, we grown.
Exactly.
We
like
grown.
That makes sense.
Come put together. Like, I just wanted to put the batteries in and press play. Like,
look, you see this?
But what's wrong with that?
I don't want to put all
it's nothing wrong. It's nothing
together.
wrong with that. It's just that men, we just don't hold that same standard to women. And maybe we should. I don't know.
What?
Maybe men should have a higher standard of the type of women they deal with.
But I feel like if you take it back to the traditional gender roles, men are supposed to be the provider, or they're supposed to provide something for their presence. You know what I mean? So I think that's why women have this checklist, because it's like.
So, but what is your?
What is my checklist?
No. See, don't.
Okay, so my thing.
No. Hold on.
Nice teeth.
No. Hold on. You said that.
Wear slides, I'm gonna turn you down.
That's fucking hilarious.
If we at the mall and you got slides on, I'm gonna tell you no.
No, I want to know, like, that's fucking hilarious. So that's a superficial thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't think I would. No, I feel that way about wedges. If I seen a woman wearing wedges, like, I'll probably not fucking with you.
Wedges?
Yeah, I don't. That sounds real. That's shallow as fuck. But wedges on my line, nigga. Like, if it don't matter how bad you are, if you got on wedges, nigga, I'm tapped out, nigga. I can't do it.
Wedges.
I can't even explain to you why. I grew up around Spanish girls. I think that's what it was, nigga. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
fuck that, nigga. I can't. I'm not going out with you.
She got to wear wedges.
What is the one universal thing we can subscribe to all women?
They expect us to nurture and take care of whatever it is they provide.
No. That's two things. Let's pick one.
They expect us to take care of whatever.
No.
That's one thing.
I know. Take care of what?
Whatever it is they provide.
That's too much.
How is that too?
That's too broad.
How is that too broad? Like if they provide us a house, they expect us to take care of it. If they provide us food, they expect a meal. If they provide us a car, they expect it to be well maintained. Like whatever the man brings to the table, he brings it in a raw form, and he expects his woman to make something out of it, or to
chat room. What do you guys think?
You know what I mean? Keep it in good standing. Because the nigga's not going to put you in an apartment and then you just got your dogs pissing everywhere, holes in the fucking wall. He expects you, if I'm going to go out and work for it and I'm working on it for your behalf, I would expect you to take care of it or do something with whatever it is I'm providing you.
Men don't want to provide nowadays.
They don't.
Men.
Well.
Remember when they said it ain't tricking if you got it? Or no, before that. Like it's tricking. Like,
right.
You know, niggas don't want to be tricks. So,
but tricking and providing is not the same thing.
Right, but when you first meet somebody, I'm saying people don't even want to give you.
But some men see.
But that's
some
because
tricking and providing. As
I was going to say, hang on 1 second, caller. That's because in my experience and coming from around that world, a lot of women use men, right? So as a man, once you peep the game, it's a wrap. No. But I can only speak from my perspective, right? So from my perspective, you go about it, you're taught to, oh yeah, you should take her on a date, buy her, take out to eat. That sounds great. But once you realize, like, oh, you just trying to get a free meal. Oh, you just want to get a movie ticket out this motherfucker. And you realize, oh, this is costing me $500, $600, $700 to do this goofy shit. Then all that nice shit goes out the door. Now it's like, okay, let's make an even exchange. I'm not doing too much for this pussy because it ain't worth that much. And the pussy don't be worth that much because you let me fuck for taking you to the movies or taking you out to eat. So now I know, all right, I got a $50 cap on pussy. If I go with $50, I got the pussy. That's how we analyze it, nigga. If I spend $200, I'm fucking her for sure. And that's borderline prostitution, but y'all setting the bar, so I don't know what to say about that. Caller,
what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Nick, I swear to God. Anyway, here's the thing. It's not about men not wanting to provide, like Nick said. It's about, hey, why don't y'all help provide sometime? It's like it says a lot. Wait, it says a lot for a woman to come. It says a lot for a woman to come out of her pocket and pay her own shit. That says a lot.
I pay my own shit now, so that's my whole point. If I'm paying I have 100% of my overhead is covered by me. 100%. Right.
Yes, it's supposed to be.
What you in my face for if you're not trying to take 20 off the plate or something?
Wait a minute, wait. Here's the thing. Protection. Just like Aaron, remember your favorite. Aaron, what's your favorite sentence?
Do our last names match?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. It's the same thing what you said for you. It's the same thing that you saying for me. Do our last names match for me to help you take 20% off the top? No, then you can cover your own 100 and I cover my own 100. If I'm in your face and we're deciding that we want to be a couple, we should be able to take 20% off for each other.
Y'all talk all that good shit, but I don't think you understand. There is nothing more irritating to a woman than to be dating a man and she can't even come to him. Like because she already know he doesn't have it or whatever the case may be. It's like,
well, why don't you? But see, here's the thing: why you dating dudes like that? If you're with a dude and you know he can't cover your portion of the thing, then first of all, if that's the type of female you are, you shouldn't be dating that dude in the first place.
Okay.
Now here's the thing: if you're dating a dude, this tells a dude a lot. And Nick, you can tell me if I'm wrong. This tells a dude a lot. If and the check come and you pull out your motherfucking wallet and say, you know what, I got this. He gonna look at you like, okay, damn. That 9 out of 10, that'd make a nigga weenie wiggle real quick. Like, damn, she'll do this.
Should I give him the game? Now, from my experience, Vernon, I've been around a lot of skilled women that just use that shit as game. So I never take it that serious. And personally, like, I wouldn't even ask a woman on a date if I couldn't pay for it.
It's not even about asking.
No. You hear what I said, Vernon? I wouldn't even take a woman on a date if I couldn't afford it, though.
And it's about sitting back. A lot of times, if you're skilled enough, all you got to do is sit back and peep another motherfucker's game. Go, ooh, that was smooth. And then you can compliment them. A lot of times, people get thrown off if you compliment them on their game. If she do some smooth shit, go, ooh, that was smooth what you just did. She go, what you mean? Never mind. You know what I mean, but that's okay. We're not going to talk about it, but that was some smooth shit. She know what she did.
Let's ask the ladies, Vernon. Aaron.
Okay.
Scott. Thanks, Vernon.
What's the question?
Is that true? Do women tend to use that as a tactic to kind of run game on men, offer to pay, and then...
Yes.
I figured the same thing. That's why I don't ever go for it.
You're basically like planting. You're planting a good faith seed. You know what I mean? Because these niggas are simple. So it's like, okay, let me do a good gesture in the beginning and be like, oh, I'll pay, and then now he's all geeked and wide open. So now we in that bitch. So I mean,
listen. I say hell yeah, pay that motherfucker and leave the tip. The fuck you talking about?
Like,
no.
If you paying sometimes and I'm paying sometimes, I'm cool with that. But if I'm always paying, I just kind of feel like if it's not about to hang out with
$40 or less, $50 or less, I could swing it. Just cause. If not,
I'm finna get the fellas the game. This how you weed them out. Okay, you go and take on a date. You pay for all the meals. Okay, just pay for all the little days. The next and then had a conversation. She willing to pay for something, whatever. Then you go out. Make sure you go somewhere real nice, a little more expensive than you normally go, and then you ask her to take the bill, and then you just see what happens.
Why do you ask me to take the bill now that we're somewhere more expensive?
Nice and ask me to pay.
Like, no, do you know how disgusting that is?
That's what.
My whole thing is, nigga.
Fellas, pay attention to the.
I got you a brown stew plate.
Pay attention to the attitude that's happening right now. This is how you weed it out.
Say, baby, take me out, please.
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
And I'm gonna pay for it. But if you get me there, like, and I'm thinking you
gotta tell them beforehand.
You
listen,
tell them beforehand
right? If
that you're anticipating them to pay.
If I'm telling the woman, hey, I want to go out to this restaurant, this call over here. Why don't you get it this time?
Baby, meet me in a car.
And I'm gonna make sure it's a little nicer than what we normally go to, especially if I'm always footing the bill. And this is how you just weed out the personality of the woman, because it shouldn't be about the money. It shouldn't be about it.
It's not about the
but
money.
A lot of times,
it's
like
about how you presented it. That's what it is.
No,
you can't tell me you taking me out.
No, I didn't say I was taking you out. I said let's go out. I didn't say I was taking you out. I said I normally take you out, right?
And then so this
time it's on you.
But how?
But if it's on me, then let me pick the restaurant.
No. Because fellas, keep game here, fellas, because this is about. It's not about.
How we even get to the restaurant? You gonna say, hey, you want to go eat?
This is not trickery. No.
French.
This is not trickery, fellas. Let me preach your game. It's all you got to do. I've done this not a million times.
He's setting you up for a fight.
It's not gonna be a fight. I ain't never been in a fight with a woman. All you got to do, look. I want to go to. You know what I mean? Why don't you take me out to this restaurant? Whoop-de-whoop. Wherever it is.
She gonna be like, sure, baby.
Exactly. She gonna say sure because you always got the bill. So she gonna be like, okay, cool. I got him this one time. Just make sure it's a little bit nicer than what you guys normally go to.
Just don't get her there and now the bill come and you like looking at her.
And look,
I've been with them for a while. Like, I don't have a problem paying for a dinner or nigga, let's go get a sack or whatever.
Right, but from no. Right, but see how that's my point. Usually, if it's something a little more simple, like let's just get a quick meal. A woman doesn't have a problem doing that, right? But if it's something that's a little more substantial, that she feel like maybe the man it's a little more.
I just feel like
why
are men sitting around having conversations about women paying their tab? Like this is not going on anywhere else in the world. Let me just.
That's not true at all.
Where?
That is.
Where?
That's not true at all, Aaron. Yeah, that's not true at all.
Like that. In countries like Australia, if you offer to cover a meal with a woman on a date and they assume you're going to go Dutch. and you'll offend them if you take the bill without them agreeing to allow you to pay. But
So that's what happened.
what's going on in other parts of the world isn't really relevant. We live here, and I ain't dating no Aborigines, so I don't give a fuck. At any rate, my main point is this. Y'all may put me in mind of something. My father, when he was first dating my mother, and this is back in the 60s, they went out 3 times, and my father paid for every meal. My mother thought if I go on a 4th date with him, I need to invite him to my home to cook. She was still living with my grandparents at the time. She asked my grandmother and grandfather if she could have him over for Sunday dinner. And she prepared the entire meal by her own hand and served him.
That sounds so nice.
That did 2 things. One, it introduced him as somebody serious to the family early in that relationship. It allowed her father to vet the young man. And 2, it showed that she was a person of a certain degree of substance. My dad still talks about this. That's why I knew to take your mama seriously. She didn't sneak me into that house. She invited me into the home to meet her family and to cook. So there's a different way of thinking. I'm not saying everybody lives at home, and that might not be a solution for everybody. But you don't necessarily have to come out of the pocket to prove yourself as somebody of worth and somebody to be taken seriously. Anyway, that's my last call, I promise.
All right, thank you for that.
I just
Great
got
story.
contrast to that.
Love the story.
When I was 15, my cousin was 18. She was fresh 18, and she invited a boy over. And everybody was in the living room. It was like me. Everybody was excited, like, oh my gosh, there's a boy in the house. My dad got there. My dad threw him out like
Immediately.
Uncle Phil
Fuck out of here, nigga.
did Jazzy Jeff. He definitely threw him out.
She didn't let him know that he was coming over?
I guess. I mean, it was the first boy. I was only like 13 at the time.
Because your dad knew.
My dad, yeah.
He looked at that nigga. He knew. He said, you want to...
I don't let people meet my parents.
You listen with men.
They always meet by accident.
Listen, women with men, you have to, because like the gentleman just said, what it established to the man is, oh, she's serious. This ain't no woman I could just fuck over. I can't just play with her like that. That's what you. It doesn't matter how you relate it. This is how men take it. If a woman takes you to her house and introduces you to her grandparents and her parents and cooks for you, a nigga got to take that serious.
That's new. I mean, that's old.
A nigga got to take that serious.
Okay. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yo, there's a lot of Houston. What's happening?
What's cracking now?
So, as far as the dating deal, spending money, one thing I used to always look at, and it kind of held true, at least, for what I can speak of. When I was dating someone, and if they offered to pay the bill, regardless if it was a, low-end or high-end place, that let me know the type of female that I felt like I was dealing with, that this person was willing to do things for me, go out of their way for me, before we, really got serious, compared to somebody I was dating that expected me to pay the bill all the time. And it just gave me a different feeling towards that female. Not saying that that's the case and that's, true for all, but it just gave me a case of saying, okay, well, I got to watch this one. She may not be about me. She may not have my interest at hand. It's different ways of looking at it. And that's one thing that I kind of looked at, and it always panned out. The ones that paid, had no problem paying, always were good. The ones that didn't, always was looking for a free handout and didn't care. Wasn't worried about relationship, wasn't worried about nothing. They just wanted a free handout.
All of this discussion is for the dating phase, because I feel like once we decide to be together and I'm your girlfriend and you're my, there's ebbs and flows.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shit goes back and forth.
Right.
So that's not an issue.
This is for ERIN and L. In the dating space, is there a dollar cap?
What do you mean? Like, don't spend more than?
Is there? I'm not talking on a single date. I'm talking about investing in the dating process, right? So do you say, like, if you spend $1,200, $1,500 in the process of dating this person, do you feel like, all right, either gotta be serious or I gotta walk away from this shit?
Well, I've never spent $1,200 or $1,500 on a man, so I would probably have to ask.
If you're just dating a woman, is there a dollar amount cap that you have on the
like after
process?
600, she playing games?
It depends. It depends on how serious the relationship is. If I'm dating, I mean, if we're talking like, first date or a few dates in or whatever, and we're just kind of like on it again, off again type of thing, then I'm not gonna invest a lot of money, into that person. But what's a lot of money to me may not be a lot of money to somebody else, or vice versa.
Right.
But if I'm serious, then no, I have no problem. Because I did that before. Like, we went on a weekend, trip somewhere, or just kind of get away, stuff like that. Besides just going to a restaurant, but it was a more serious relationship. I think that's going to be the determining factor.
I agree with that.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thanks, Al.
Um,
Oh shit, man, I keep hanging up on people. My bad, y'all. I'm bad with the hang-ups. My bad.
So we're about to wrap this up and get out of here real quick. But I have one final question. So yesterday, everybody knows it was Memorial Day. Right? Was anybody invited to like any barbecues or anything? I feel like my generation nowadays, we have dropped the ball. We don't barbecue no more. We don't have to, because you think when we were younger, we were always going to like our older.
It was cracking. Yeah, good point.
I'm 36, so they were about our age.
Good point.
Right? But I feel like our generation now thinks 30s is the new 20s, so they at the day party still. You know what I mean? There is no barbecues. But then for the people that did, why are black people held hostage by lighter fluid? Like,
what do you mean?
Like, if you really know how to barbecue,
right,
you shouldn't be using lighter fluid.
Right, good point.
You know what I mean?
Good
like,
point.
because some people will just OD on the lighter fluid to the point the food tastes like chemicals. You know what I mean? So that's my last question is, why, as black people, are we held hostage by lighter fluid when it comes to barbecuing? And then when the fuck is our generation? I think it's because we can't buy no houses. Ain't nobody got no backyard or nothing. Man, I really think that's what it is.
What was the question? Oh, about the why we don't have these.
Go to barbecues yesterday, because you have to think like, we really became of age in the first recession. You know what I mean? And then when you get your footing, here comes some other shit. When you get your footing, here come the pandemic. Like, I really feel bad for the children who graduated last year, because I already know what the next 10 years of them for them is going to look like. You know what I mean? Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
ERIN, I swear to God, you asked the most perfect questions. I called lighter fluid stupid juice.
Vernon, did you guys barbecue yesterday?
No.
See? Why not?
I didn't barbecue because it wasn't barbecue weather here. It was kind of cold.
Got you. Yeah. But I'm saying, as a family, do you see like the younger people in your family kind of carrying on the traditions like that?
Them niggas can't even bring paper goods.
Our family is weird. I'm just gonna say it flat out. Sometimes we feel like doing shit. Sometimes we feel like having a bunch of people over, and sometimes we be like, "Fuck y'all, stay the fuck out of my house. I'm not doing shit here. Y'all gonna throw it."
That's called being black, Vernon.
Yeah.
But I feel like in my family,
but it's like you said. It just seems like people just get that lighter fluid and they just get stupid.
But do you think it's because thanks, Vernon. I think because my uncle showed me how to barbecue. Like he literally grabbed me, like, nigga, come over here
and let me show you how to barbecue.
Show you how to flip meat, nigga.
Right.
Light
your coals, how to stack them right, how to light it. Like,
we had a guest on the other show. She had a good point. She said that a lot of these women now are becoming like in their early 30s or early 40s, becoming grandmothers, and they're going with the glam all thing.
The GGs.
Right. And she was saying that, and she's like, I think she's maybe early 40s. She was saying that she want Big Mama. And I thought that was interesting. She said because when she was growing up, you can go to Big Mama for if you needed something, if you needed an answer, if you needed help, if you needed somewhere to stay, if you needed a meal. It was all these things that Big Mama, we're not taking this call. It was all these things that the word Big Mama represented, right? And she was just like, we're losing all of that in our culture now. There's like, we don't have any real grandmothers that you can call, gonna put $1 in your birthday card, nigga.
But I can't say that these new age grandmothers are beautiful. You know what I mean?
Nigga, who want a bad grandmother though?
Who want a grandma with all them extra arms?
I'd rather have a Big Mama than a fine grandmother.
That don't cook.
Like, what the fuck, nigga?
Let me tell you though. Okay, so because my mom, she
shout out to y'all mama.
Yeah, she thinks she young still. She just getting older. But,
she fly.
So she tell my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old niece, they kind of smart though. So she like, yeah, you want McDonald's? My 4-year-old, he like, yeah, I want some chicken nuggets. He started breaking down the menu. But the 2-year-old, she goes, no, grandma, go in the kitchen, grandma, cook in the kitchen. And I just thought that was the funniest. I was rolling because I was right there, like, ooh, she put you on blast. Like, yeah, mom, go in the
get your GG on, man. Get your Big Mama on. Get in there and cook something.
Well, that's it, Nick?
Yes, yeah.
All right. Well,
Close it
thank
out.
you, everybody, for tuning in to my second show. I appreciate you guys coming in on the ride with me. I'll be back next Tuesday, same time. Would you? Oh,
Chat room.
I'll be back next Tuesday at the same time. So until then, everybody stay safe, be blessed. Greetings to up to the Most High.
Up to the
Next
Most
week.
High.
Thank you.
We out of here, y'all. Stay black. In the words of the great Nipsey Hussle.
Stay black and die.
Stay dangerous.
Stay dangerous.